Don't worry about that. I'll explain it. But before I do, there's a specific pattern I want you to see. Now, what did you notice? It's like we were taking our hand, grabbing the bottom, the x-axis, and then grabbing the top of the graph, and then stretching it vertically, or squishing it vertically. That's the pattern here. Now, wait a second here. That doesn't look like what we did earlier. Because earlier we grabbed it, pulled it, and pushed it. But now it seems like we're pushing it from the horizontal and stretching it from the horizontal. That's not what we're doing here. It looks like it, but that's not what we're doing, I promise you. All we are doing, we're taking the arms of the parabola and pulling them upward or pushing them down. I'll make it clear to you later. But for now, let's get into the mathematics. So let's go back to the parabola we were doing, okay? So we have f of x equal to x squared. Now that's a parabola. X squared, that's just a parabola, all right? Now, if you want to shrink the graph vertically or stretch it vertically, all you have to do is put a c in front of that. So if we had to graph a new graph, let's call it y, all you have to do is multiply this whole f of x by that c value. That's all we're doing. In fact, I think I should make that c value blue so you see it. Multiply c, the f of x, the whole f of x by c. This is going to pull the graph vertically upward or shrink it vertically down. Now here's the magic. If c is greater than 1, when you multiply this, you're always going to get a bigger number. So that's why it's going up. Whereas if c is less than 1, but greater than 0, so it's in between 0 and 1, when you multiply f of x, you're going to get a small number. So that's why we're going down. That's why we're shrinking down. Okay? Basically, what's happening here, I'm going to make it easy for you to understand. This is what's happening here. You have a coordinate, right? You know your coordinates, x and y. That's your coordinate. With the shrinking and stretching stuff, all we are doing, we are taking, x is still the same. We're not moving left or right. We're going up and down, all right? All we are doing, we're going from this to x being the same, x is still the same. For example, if the point is on 2, it's going to stay on 2. It's just going to go up and vertically on that 2, but it's going to stay on 2. But y is going to be c times y. Now, how does that make sense? So x is staying the same, but y is no longer just y. It's now y, c times y. Now, why does it make sense? Think about it. Think about it, okay? What does this represent, this f of x, this whole thing here? What does that represent? It represents the y value. For example, I'll give you an example. If I want to find the y value at x equals 1, what do? I substitute 1 here, and 1 squared is 1. So f of x is going to be 1. So basically, what I'm saying is, when x is 1, y is also 1. Let's try another number. Let's say x, we're substituting 2. So 2 squared is 4. So what does that mean? It means that when x is 2, y is 4. So this f of x actually can be also written as y is equal to. That's another way of writing it. So what are we doing here? We're keeping x the same, but the c is multiplying y, because what does this represent? This is the same as that. So another way of writing this f of x, it can be written like this. So c times y. Think about it. Since y is 4, and let's say our c is 2, 2 times 4, what's 2 times 4? That's 8. So we're going to go from 2, and we're going to go to, now what happened here? X stayed the same. The x stayed the same, but the y moved from 4 to 8. That didn't move right or left. That moved up and down. Now, I know this may be confusing to you, but I'll make it clear with this. So do you see it now? We're not moving left or right. We're just going up and down on that particular x value. But there's one more thing that I want to tell you about, okay? What about the points that are on the x-axis? I'm not going to write y there because I know y is 0. It's on the x-axis. It's 0. That's the y value. I don't know the x value, but on the y value, because it's on the x-axis, I definitely know that the y value is 0. So anything, so if why doesn't this point move? Notice, go check them out. So rewind if you have to. You're going to notice that the points on the x value, sorry, on the x-axis, they don't move. Why not? Because anything times 0 is 0. Yes, we are multiplying c, but the y value is 0. So that's why it doesn't move, because c times 0 is still 0. That's why the points on the x-axis don't go up and down. They stay on the x-axis. Now, please promise me something. Promise me that you're not going to confuse this with the vertical shift. They do something similar, but they're not the same. If you need a recap on that video, you can check it over here. But for now, I'll see you later. Oh, also, if you didn't understand my explanation, you can check my description for other great teachers on YouTube. I linked them in below.